Speaking of financial freedom
Mhm.
and the fact that it's achievable for anybody, what are, you mentioned you and your husband set out a plan and just all of a sudden you turned around a few years later and boom, magic happened. What were the steps? What are some steps that somebody can do? We've got a ton of people here listening live. They're
Yeah.
resonating with all of everything they're saying. They're like, "Ooh, Valencia, financial
Mhm.
freedom. Is it really achievable?" Um, how? What's
How?
some steps, some one, two, threes that you can give us for a jump start?
Yeah. So one of the things that I don't even know if I need to coin this myself, if I need, I don't know if it exists, but I call it, we did the no budget method. And what the no budget method is we literally don't follow a budget. Yes, we are aware of our expenses and our revenue, but we focus on our financial goals. So, for instance, the first goal we ever created for a financial goal we created for ourselves was to save 100,000. And what we did is we broke that into little pieces. And at the time, we probably had like 25,000 saved, and it was like, okay, we have 75,000 left to make it, and we gave ourselves 12 months. And from there, we looked at our income. We said, okay, this is how much we make. Now let's start putting that money. And so we pay our financial goals first before we pay our bills, and then we pay our financial goals. And then from there, we do whatever we want with the rest of the money. And when we started doing that, that felt so much more freeing to us than to follow a strict budget and be like, okay, this is where all of your every penny is going. And it worked for us. I always tell people, I put out a disclaimer, you have to see if it'll work for you. Everybody's lifestyle is very different. Some people need that additional structure of calculating everything on a spreadsheet or using an app. But for us, it was like the no budget method. So that was one thing. The next is really being clear on what it is that you want to achieve. We knew at some point that we didn't want to have to work for other companies. And so we made sure that whatever we did aligned with it. And then the next thing I would say is, let me see, would be another good step. Stick to the plan. It's so easy to want to do something else. Every problem when you're saving seems like it's the problem you have to fix. And for some reason, money is always the solution. But make it to the point where that money cannot be touched. Don't touch it. Because a lot of people have a problem with putting money into their savings account. It gets to a certain point, and then they're like, oh, I can treat myself now. Like, no, the money in that account is like, it was off limits. It's like we didn't even have it. That's why I told you it was hard for us to even realize what we accomplished because we couldn't touch it. We didn't even know. If it's an emergency, we save up for that emergency. We figure something else out to get around it so that so we can continue to prepare for our future. But so many people just focus on the present and allow the present to dictate their life. Oh, and that's another thing. Live for your future self. Don't just live for the now, live for your future self. That is where you're going to be able to achieve that financial freedom.
That's speaking right to my soul.
Mm-hmm.
That
Love
I
it.
see this so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the first one that you were talking about, pay bills, pay yourself, pay your accounts. What's the order again?
Yeah, so it's we would pay our bills,
Bills.
and
Okay.
then we would contribute the finances directly to our financial goal. So whatever
Goal.
that financial goal is for that month or for the year or whatever, it's going straight to there. And then honestly, the rest of the money is we enjoy life.
Extra. Extra enjoy life.
Yeah, enjoy life.
That's great. I